So today we're going to talk about smart lists and help you understand what they are and how they're helpful for managing your business and what our expectations are as a team on a regular basis. So whenever you log into your account, you're going to first see this People tab. The People tab includes the button All People, and then across here horizontally are your different smart lists every day. So we're going to go over these individually so you'll understand what they are. Know that these are subject to somewhat of a change, but at the time of posting this video, these will be accurate. Hopefully not too many changes coming soon. But anyways, all people, you will not see a list this big. This is 19,000 people. This is our admin account that we're in. Your individual account will be as many people as leads you have in your pipeline and closed database. But as we go through these lists, these are ranked in order of importance, and you're going to want to reorganize your smart lists. And you do that by going over to the far right here to your Manage Lists button and dragging them so that they're in order of what shows up on my screen right now. And that is going through 1 through, I believe it's 1 through 9. So we'll go through these really quick and we'll see, or kind of gain a better understanding for what these are and why they're so powerful. So all people is a fine thing to exist in if you want an overview of everyone who's in your account, but it can be pretty overwhelming. But if you are looking to perhaps like place a filter, you want to find all people and you want to add a filter for, I don't know, different lead sources just to find out maybe where your business came from. You could do a lead source and hit, include, and you could use a filter that way. You could use many of these different filters. I would highly recommend tinkering around with these and playing with them. They're pretty cool, but it can be overwhelming on a daily basis. So today we're going to talk about you're hopping in your account, you've got showings in 2 hours, and you want to know how to kind of plow through these lists to clear them out. So when I go into this ASAP list, these are folks that you have claimed as a lead and that are still in lead status, meaning that you have not changed the stage on the lead. So they're still in no contact attempted made or no contact attempts yet made. So these leads would need to be changed to attempted contact in an outbound call or text logged in Follow Up Boss for those to fall off this ASAP list. ASAP list is like the naughty list. These are where no leads should exist, especially if you've claimed a lead and it's sitting for more than a couple of hours. Immediacy is really key, urgency to take action on those leads and call them immediately. And that's why this list is called ASAP. There should be no one that exists on this whenever you wake up in the morning and you're clicking this list. The next list is 10 and 10. 10 and 10 are leads that you have not actually made live contact with. Let's say you claimed a lead, they ghosted the first day, you left a message and you text and no response. The expectation is 10 follow-ups or 10 days worth of follow-ups on those leads that you have not yet made live connection with. And an opened email does not count as live connection. We need to see two-way communication back from them. And that two-way communication can mean no longer interested or, thanks, but we've found another agent. Whatever the case may be, you'll want to restage those from attempted contact to something else at the point in which you've gained that live contact. A good stage for somebody who doesn't give you like a complete, screw off, but they say something along the lines of like, not interested, already worked with another agent, something like that. Put them on the stage newsletter, and we'll go over that here shortly. But newsletter is a great way to no longer have to manage that lead individually in your account, but it will still exist in your account, and they'll receive our monthly newsletter that goes out. So 10 and 10 is your daily, kind of the next priority list after ASAP. These are folks that need to go through, and you need to make that one touch per day for the first 10 days. And what counts as a touch is an outbound call, an outbound text, or an outbound email. Mass emailing or bulk emailing does not count. It needs to be an individually typed up email to them. If you place the email through Follow Up Boss, which we highly recommend, and again, all calls and all texts must be made through Follow Up Boss. If you make the email through Follow Up Boss, you can actually see if the email was opened, and any links you put in the email, you can see if they were clicked on as well. So there's some power to using Follow Up Boss's integrated email, and that's going to show the customer that it's going from your individual team email address. So there's no change there. It's not coming from an @Follow Up Boss email account or anything like that. So placing those emails through Follow Up Boss is critical. I highly recommend texting and using phone more than email though, especially this day and age. People are less apt to open an email. That sort of should be maybe 2 or 3 of the 10 touches at the most, I would say. 5+ days are folks that are in the stage spoke with customer or appointment set. You can also hover over here to the right and see which filters are creating these different stages up here. So we're looking at for 5+ days for that smart list. Hover down here, we can see stage includes spoke with customer, appointment set, or met with. So if you meet with somebody or you speak with them or you set an appointment with them, we find it best practice to follow up with them every 5 days. And that can be something really simple. That can be a push notification with some listings that you grab off of Ylopo Stars and text out to them. That can be a follow-up text message saying, hey, how are things going? Or did you ever connect with the lender I sent you? That can be an outbound email. That can be any number of things. But we find that while they're in this spoke with customer or appointment set or met with customer status, that there should be a once every 5 day communication logged with them in order to make that conversion happen. The next list we're going to look at is browsers. This is really cool and powerful. So if you've set up Ylopo Stars and you've got maybe HomeBot or some other things going for them, you could sort this by last activity newest. And I can literally log in here and hover over, and I can see that this contact was on our website on March 22nd at 11:30 a.m. So this is the most recent kind of browser on our site. So this is really cool because every day when you log in and you see your most recent browser, maybe it's somebody who's ghosted you for a while, but they're back on Ylopo Stars favoriting or looking at homes or whatever the case may be. That's really powerful and gives you sort of this behind the scenes ability to kind of have an idea of what they're doing and what their intentions may be. Really cool. And again, by setting up a dynamic search in Ylopo Stars, they're able to edit their own search criteria. Buyers often say, I only want to be on the lake, I only want a lakefront home, or I only want to live in uptown condos. And then all of a sudden you see them on Ylopo Stars looking at a property that doesn't match that search criteria at all. So it's a great insight for you as their agent. Let's go to hand raisers. Hand raisers are folks that have actually asked something. So they've gotten on Ylopo Stars and they've asked a question in the comment section, or they've requested a tour, or they've hearted a listing. Something has happened to trigger that hand raiser's action to happen. Raya replies. So Raya is our virtual ISA. When we get a reply, or when one of your leads gets a reply from her, you will see this reply right here. So last marketing text reply will be right here. You can click this and open that full Raya conversation. Again, if you jump in as Raya, once you open up Ylopo Stars and you jump in as Raya in that text string, you are replying as Raya. So don't say, hi, this is John with Matt Stone Real Estate. You want to continue saying something, maybe teeing John up for the call, saying, hi, John will give you a call later today. Here's his number. Please be on the lookout for his call. Something like that, because you are acting as Raya when you jump into that text conversation. Also know that you can pause Raya for 48 hours by jumping into that conversation. That's a pretty neat thing to do, especially if the lead has been ghosting you and you want to send out something more individualized, but you want her to pick the conversation back up if they don't reply. So going over this next list are your actives. These are folks that are actually in a solid stage with you. They are either under contract, you are showing them homes, or you are submitting offers with them. These are your active book of business. These are folks that you should be communicating with on a very regular basis. This list will never be zeroed out. So hopefully not zeroed out. Zeroed out means you have no customers. You always want to have people in this list. So these lists should generally be cleared out. Actually, browsers will not be cleared out either, because browsers is just like an FYI list. That's just letting you know who's been active on the site, who's been doing stuff. But actives also will not clear out. So there's no action needed with actives. I think we might have mentioned this earlier, but you can also sort these columns. So if you've got 50 actives, oh my gosh, you're just overwhelmed, and you want to see which one of your actives has been most recently active on the site, you can go to that column and sort that, and you can see who's been viewing properties, who has been hearting things. So this is one of Olivia's clients, and I can see here that this person is very active. They're looking at a $550,000 house this morning at 7:26 a.m. They are active on the site. They have viewed 21 properties. So this would be a fantastic way for her to reach out to them and say, hey, how are things going? Is the search I have for you set up, is it accurate? Can we make any adjustments? Jump in and get those future offers submitted and future showings set up. I'm going to pull my screen over here. All right, nurture 30. So you may move a lead to status or stage nurture based on what you hear back from them. So nurtured leads would be, so in 10 and 10, you made your 10 and 10 contacts. They never reached out. You would definitely want to keep Raya engaged. You could move them to Raya Nurture. And Raya Nurture will keep Raya, our virtual ISA, regularly texting them. And Nurture, once you've moved them to this Nurture phase, the only requirement that we make is once every 30 days, you're making some sort of contact with them. So I use this for my folks that say, we are renting for the next year. Maybe I communicate with them for a brief minute, talk to them about the benefits of buying a home, how we can help them possibly out of their lease, how there are some builder incentives right now, things like that. So I make my pitch, and if the pitch doesn't work and they want to continue renting, but I want to stay in touch with them, I will move them to this nurture phase. I do that by adding a task to the contact to follow up manually, and then by restaging them as nurture, I get a once every 30 days. They'll pop back up on this list, and I just send them a little text, I send them a little message. And know that anytime that they say that they're renting for another year or whatever the deadline may be or the case may be, you should definitely over communicate with them, because so often renters start wandering, and you see them on our website. Let's see, last activity for folks in nurture. Let's see, March 23rd. So we've already got folks this morning that are staged nurture that are active on the site. So know that just because people say not interested or bug off or whatever the case may be, that they may very well still be engaged. So if you move them to trash status, or you move them to some sort of status that gets them off of your smart list, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because that lead will count against your conversion, and you have no way of getting insights on, what are they doing? Are they still looking at properties on our website? Are they opening up their HomeBot digest and tinkering with their home's value and looking at nearby comps? That's some really powerful information. So I highly recommend defaulting to nurture and not just shoving them off into that trash bucket. This more button, so these first 8 are really your most critical. Going down here to your more button, this is your closed 45. So all of your closed buyers and sellers, we highly recommend touching base with them once every 45 days. This may sound like a lot. It may sound like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be harassing these people. But think about it this way. We're looking at a Happy New Year's text. We're looking at it as a happy home anniversary text. I can't believe it's been another year. Hope you're still loving your home. Usually a holiday invite comes out. So those are 3 of your touches right there for your once every 45 days. Folks also love articles that are specialized, especially geared towards maybe where they bought. But I will use maybe Axios or Charlotte Agenda's daily or weekly list of things that are going on in Charlotte. Pop that out via text message. Super sweet, super nice thing to do. An email also works, but be regularly touching base with them, and make sure that at least once a year you are giving them a phone call. If you've got birthdays, that's a great opportunity to give a phone call. If you've got home anniversaries, that's also a great opportunity to give a phone call and just check in. How are you doing in your home? How are things? Know that people's situations change all the time, especially in Charlotte. It's such a relocation market. People are constantly being relocated back out, or they're not satisfied with their home, or they've had a situation where they were dual income when they bought. Now they're down to one income because of a baby, something like that. So there's all sorts of situations that can change, and that you really should remain in touch with them. There's nothing worse than seeing a buyer that you worked tirelessly getting them into this property, and you see it listed with some other random agent just because they happen to pop up and they forgot your name. So stay in touch with your clients. HomeBot is super helpful for that. Reach out and say, hey, what do you think of your HomeBot valuation? Can I provide a more customized analysis for you? Something like that. Just figure out a touch and lean on the team too. We're happy to kind of chime in and help you with that. So close 45 is helpful. Newsletter is the stage where the lead is not really viable, but they haven't unsubscribed, or they haven't told you leave me alone, don't talk, don't email me, don't call me, don't text me. But you really get the feeling that maybe you've reached out the first 10 days, they never responded at all, the emails aren't showing as opened. There's really been nothing that sort of happened. There's not a whole lot of nurturing that can take place. Maybe leave them on nurture for a bit, see if there's any sort of activity on the website before you move them to newsletter. But you still will have access to these newsletter leads. So I recommend hopping in there and checking these out maybe every month or 2 as well, and just seeing, are they doing something on the website? Has there been any new activity? That sort of thing. And newsletter just means exactly that. They're going to be receiving our company newsletter, but there's no other expectations from you as their agent. Some of these are just internal lists here, so no need to look at these, but that is, those are our smart lists, and that's kind of our expectations as a team. So I hope that was helpful. Obviously, within each individual contact, there's a lot of things you can do. I think we made another video about going over, how you may send a, let me pull this back over. How you would send an email, make a note. These notes are internal. You can also @ other folks in the note section. So if you want to @ Abby, if you @ another agent, that's going to add them as a collaborator to this contact, which is fine. And that means that maybe this person is picking up a showing for you, and you want them to be able to see the notes in the Follow Up Boss account so that they've got some background history. But sending emails through the account is a great thing to do. Sending texts. And then you will not need to log calls. You'll want to go over here to the call button and actually place a call. And that can be one of 2 ways. That's either calling through your computer, which I don't recommend unless you have super strong Wi-Fi, or it will ping your mobile phone. So that is sort of the smart list in a nutshell. We will also, I'll take a quick minute to talk about the inbox, tasks, calendar, deals, reporting, and that sort of thing. Beyond smart lists, so that's priority number one, is plowing through the smart lists every day and zeroing those out, except for the couple that can't be zeroed out. Inbox is going to show you back and forth with clients. You can take action on those by either replying. Once the reply is satisfied, you can hit close. If that client replies again, it's going to pop back in as a new inbox message. Tasks are tasks that you assigned yourself or that were assigned based on one of the autopilots that's in place. So that's going to show you kind of some sparks for things to do, things that are overdue, that sort of thing. I'm going to skip calendar for now. Deals, we've got a whole other video on deals in the MSRE agent portal, so check that out. Reporting is more of an internal thing, but we do talk about like the leaderboard, for instance. We have an agent leaderboard. This shows who's been most active on within Follow Up Boss. Everything is scored based on appointment set. So each appointment set is 500 points. Each call made over 2 minutes in length is 100 points, and it kind of drops off from there as far as the point value. But basically, we can sort of, if you're curious, like what are the top agents doing on the team to make $300,000 a year? What are they doing? What am I not doing that they're doing? This is a great thing to do, seeing that an agent will oftentimes show 7 to 10 to 15 different sets of clients in a given week. So this is a wonderful kind of insight. We don't use this as a way to hate on each other. We use this as a tool to learn from one another and see what kind of the rock stars are doing. The last thing, well, I guess the last thing is admin. We won't go over that, but agent goals. We also talk about income goals per agent, and that's all tracked here in Follow Up Boss. So that is really the priority list. I would say the smart lists are the number one thing to go through on a daily basis, as well as your inbox and your tasks. If you have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out to us. We can do a demo with you and kind of walk through what this day looks like. And again, the goal of this is to make sure that these smart lists are zeroed out. If you ever receive a message from Matt Stone in Follow Up Boss, just know that there's multiple people that act as me in my account. So if you're we send an message to you and you reply, just know that you're replying to a few different folks and it's not just me messaging you. So please don't send me a Slack message asking about something individually, because I likely don't know what that was about. So I hope this was helpful, but that is smart lists in a nutshell. And again, we're happy to help any way we can.